I'm so sick and tired of being calm and coherent and polite so people can take in what I'm trying to say. When really I want to say, could you take your foot off my neck, please, so I can breathe? To shout, what's wrong with you people? What were you thinking? Were you thinking? I remember meeting Mariah in the pretentious, overstuffed chairs in the lounge of the hotel next to work. The staff are friendly, and they'll let you stay there half the day with your soy hot chocolate to review what's about to go down. She says, man, it's not right, mate, what they're doing to you. I let out a long sigh. I know, Mariah, but being right ain't gonna help me. I know you know this. I'm the white girl living in your country, remember? She says, it's like they want you to be just a little bit disabled. She laughs, like how they want me to be just a little bit indigenous. Enough to make them look good. Tick the box. Not enough to be real. Make any changes. Hey, do you want me to help you get a disability strategy at work? I know there's just you, but I could help. I laugh. Mariah, you know the white man's organisation can only think about one thing at a time, otherwise its brain will explode. You finally got their attention, getting your Indigenous staff caucus formalised and introducing your policy and strategies. Just go with that for now. Disability, maybe later. With Mariah, I didn't ever have to wonder if she got it. If she had my back, if I had hers. We were the bestest friends by the second week. If someone queer-baited me on the street late at night, I knew she would take off her girly shoes, roll up her cardigan sleeves, hitch up her beautiful dress, go over there and say,
the inventor of the what is it, the IQC?
The IQC, the Identity Quotients Calculator. I have invented the Identity Quotients Calculator.
And how did you come across this invention?
Well, I analysed where my work had been shown for the last 10 years, and then I discovered that based on that, I have this multiplicity of identities. So I work in several different mediums. I do video, and I do radio, and new media, and performance, and I do arts, advocacy, and policy, because that's what happens when you have multiple identities. And my work, all those different kinds of works, is shown in the context of festivals, mostly, that relate to women, or queer, or disabled, or human rights, or in the mainstream, really. When I work in film, I'm 36% female, 29% queer, 21% a human rights activist, and 14% disabled. And when I work in radio, I'm 100% disabled. Well, you know, when I work in radio, it's a very intimate kind of thing. And then when I work in performance, I'm 60% queer and 10% each of female, disabled, human rights activists, and mainstream.
And new media?
Well, interesting, because I'm not there, that was the interesting thing about the Identity Quotients Calculator, is when I'm not there, I become more mainstream. So if my physical being's not there, my voice isn't there, I'm not queer or disabled anymore, apparently. I'm quite mainstream.
So in new media you are?
So when I do new media, I'm 50% disabled and 25% human rights activist, but 25% mainstream. And when my poetry gets published, and it's just words on a page and I'm not there at all, I'm 40% mainstream and only 20% each of female, disabled, and queer. Well, if I'm not there, I'm not queer or a woman any longer. Some of the identities are less in different artistic mediums, and sometimes they disappear, like in new media, but in every single category I'm always disabled. So the funny thing is, with the IQC, which is what we're calling the Identity Quotients Calculator, because it affects your brain, really, and how smart you are depending on your identity, is that most of my work so far hasn't really been about disability, even though disability informs what I do. But being concerned about everything that's happening in the world, my work isn't about disability, it's about all kinds of things.
Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree?
But seriously, if in this moment I am attracted to a butch lesbian, a bisexual woman, an androgynous man, an intersexual, what does that make me? Confused, a narcissist, hormonal, an omnivore, a quadrisexual, ambisexual, ambidextrous, an androgynous, a tetrasexual, or just alive?
Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right.
Pull your own weight. Stand alone. Stand on your own 2 feet, 4 feet, 6 legs, 6 feet under. Don't just sit there. Rise above it. Get up. Stand up for your rights. Relax. Take it easy. Foot loose. 1 foot in front of the other. 1 step at a time. Walk before you can run. Look before you leap. For the high jump, put your foot in it. Can't stand it. Don't take it lying down. Sleep on it. Put it behind you. Tunnel vision, blind, deaf, dumb, victim, sufferer, invalid, bedridden, wheelchair bound, gutless, lily-livered, got a gall, spineless, heartless, thoughtless, some nerve, brain dead, uncommunicative, non-responsive. Stood me up. Stand firm. Stand and deliver. Money or your life. Life sucked out. Coming up for air, gasping. Give me some air, breathing space. In the glow of the light, your toes curl around mine like crow sister. A blanket of exhaustion covers me. Still, sleep evades me. A warmth in my muscles promises tomorrow to be pain. I wonder if I took a blade to my legs again, would it let out some of that pain? Even though I stroke your brow right here beside me to send you back to sleep. You seem so far, far away from me, or at least I am from you and everyone. Sometimes I wish darkness would take me in, but she never quite does. Never quite does. Back home with me 2 weeks, already you feel neglected by my sleep. My work lies dejected. I am a wreck. Always letting someone down. You, me, friends, work. Someone has to lose to pay the price. My body. It pains me to have been so close, loving, intimate yesterday. Today, nausea, exhaustion, pain, headache render me insensible, impatient. I have no answer. My tears will not stop it happening again. I do not control this illness. 10 years ago, I worked for 1 hour a month. Left my house a few hours a week. I've been lucky these last 5 years, these last 2 weeks. It let me work on my film, sometimes 16 hours a day. And now it is time to rest. Withdrawn, set apart, out of sorts, burnt out. Sleep. If I only had time.
The standard deviation is how much of a deviant you are and how far you are away from the norm. So if the norm of society, the way things are arranged in the society we live in at the moment, is it's, you know, white and it's male and it's middle class and it's heterosexual and it's able-bodied and all of those things. And if you're not like that, you're one or more standard deviation away. So it's true, when I look at the standard deviation, I'm like white and come from a middle class background and I'm English speaking. But then again, I'm a female and queer and kind of androgynous looking and disabled and a survivor of abuse and torture. So each of those is 1, so my standard deviation is 5. So then there's this kind of exponential thing that can happen where my standard deviation is 5. I belong to these 5 marginalised groups from the norm of society, but I also have 5 different disabilities. And then I work in 5 artistic mediums. I do video and I do radio and I do new media and performance and arts advocacy. So if you multiply all that together, 5 artistic disciplines, 5 marginalised groups, 5 disabilities, you get 125. So on any given day, I am one of the 125 combinations I could be, which kind of also explains why I'm always being slightly the wrong person in the wrong place. But I'm kind of good with that now. I realise that I'm not going to fit in. I don't really have an expectation of sort of fitting in and being accepted anymore. There'll be always some little part of me pinging up to be the wrong thing in the wrong place. And I'm prepared now.
That's great, and the IQC has helped you.
Yeah.
Understand that. Now, are you going to make the IQC available to the public?
Well, I'm thinking about making the IQC available to the public. Maybe my friend has said that I should make a kind of calculator that people could enter their data in. Maybe, you know, it's race, maybe it's gender, maybe whatever your different identities are, and their artistic disciplines, and then they could enter in where their work has been, you know, exhibited, shown, performed, and then they could work out their own IQC and then print out their own little pie chart with, you know, what percentage of whatever they are on any given day,
Right.
and in each discipline.
Right.
And then they'd know who to be when they went out.
Ever since I got those solid baby blue boots, straight women and male bicycle couriers of undetermined persuasion now talk to me in elevators, in boots with cornflower blue, soft woolen wrap. Strangers feel compelled to caress. They hold an edge in their hand and wonder, looking at me. Go on, I say, you know you want to. Something primevally comforting as they brush their face against it. There you are, finally, alone, in a cafe opposite work, reading the newspaper in your own musical headphone world. Venus as a boy, all svelte and androgynous, in my favorite shirt.